Section 5.1, Laws of Exponents. When you have the same base, x is considered the base, n is considered the exponent, you add the exponents. So x to the n times x to the m is equal to x to the n plus m. As an example, if I have x to the second power times x to the third, that's equal to x to the 2 plus 3, or x to the fifth. For division, it's a subtraction of exponents. If you have x to the n divided by x to the m, that's equal to x to the n minus m. As an example, x to the 6th divided by y to the 4th, that's equal to x to the 6 minus 4, which is x to the second. If you have a number that's raised to an exponent, you're taking that number, multiplying it by itself as many times as the exponent says. So 5 to the third would be 5 times 5 times 5, which would be 125. 2 to the fifth divided by 2 to the third, again the same base as the 2, so you're subtracting the exponents, so you'd have 2 to the 5 minus 3, which is 2 to the second. 2 to the second is 2 times 2, so that's a 4. In parentheses, if the negative is included and it's squared, the negative goes with the squaring of the number, so minus 3 to the second power would be minus 3 times minus 3, which is a positive 9. On the other hand, if the minus sign is on the outside of the parentheses, or if you don't even have parentheses and there's a minus sign, these are both done the same way. The minus sign does not get squared, just the number gets squared. So 3 times 3 would be 9, and then the negative sign is part of the answer, so negative 9. This negative 4 to the third, the parentheses are including the negative sign, so it's going to be minus 4 times minus 4 times minus 4, which is a negative 64. Again, 3 negatives is a negative. Anything to the 0 power is a 1. So 3 to the 0 is a 1, 8 to the 0 is a 1. If you have something in parentheses, 5 plus 3 to the 0, that's a 1. X to the minus 1, when you have a negative exponent, it makes a fraction to the positive exponent. So x to the minus 1 is equal to 1 over positive x to the 1. 5 to the minus 1 would be 1 over 5. 6 to the minus 1 is 1 over 6. If you have the negative exponent in the denominator, it means it goes up to the numerator. So 1 over 2 to the minus 1 is actually 2 to the first, or it's a 2. 9x to the minus 3, only the x has the negative 3, so the 9 would stay in the numerator and the x gets brought down to the denominator. So 9x to the minus 3 is equal to 9 divided by x to the plus 3. Here, 9x is in parentheses and the whole thing is raised to a minus 2. That means I have to make a fraction out of this. So 1 over parentheses 9x squared. The squared now belongs to the 9 and the x, so that's 1 over 81x squared. If you have 6 to the 0 divided by x to the minus 4, the 6 to the 0 is a 1. The x to the minus 4 means it belongs in the numerator as a positive 4, so this whole answer would be x to the plus 4. If you have 4x to the 5th, y to the 6th times 2x to the 3rd, the numbers get multiplied. 4 times 2 is the 8. The x's, exponents get added, so 5 plus 3 on my x's. And the y, there's not another y, but that just means it carries along. So the answer would be x to the 8th, y to the 6th, and again the number of 4 times 2 is 8. So the complete answer is 8x to the 8th, y to the 6th. Just a slight variation on this. I only have one number, 3. The other number in front of the x0 is a 1. So the coefficient is just a 3. X to the 5 plus 0 and y to the 0. So 5 plus 0 on my x's is still a 5. Y to the 0 is a 1. So this whole thing makes a 3x to the 5th.